Have you ever thought about what life would be like without reliable internet access? For many people in rural and remote areas, that's a daily reality. But Elon Musk's Starlink is here to change that. Starlink, with its satellite-based internet system, is not only revolutionizing the way we access the internet, but also bridging the digital divide across the world. Imagine being able to stream, game, or work online from literally anywhere on the planet, even in the middle of nowhere. In today's video, we're going to dive into how Starlink is changing global internet access and why it's such a game changer for millions of people around the world. What exactly is Starlink? It's part of SpaceX, the space exploration company founded by Elon Musk. Starlink is a project that aims to provide high-speed internet access to every corner of the globe using a constellation of low Earth orbit (LEO) satellites. Unlike traditional internet service providers, which rely on ground-based infrastructure like cables and cell towers, Starlink uses satellites, making it possible to reach areas that have been difficult or impossible to serve in the past. What makes Starlink different from previous satellite internet systems? For starters, it's much faster. Old satellite internet connections were known for being painfully slow with high latency. Starlink's LEO satellites, however, orbit much closer to the Earth, reducing the delay in data transmission and making speeds much more competitive with ground-based services. Why is this important? Well, think about rural areas. In many parts of the world, even in developed countries like the US or Canada, internet service is either spotty or non-existent. People living in these regions have had to deal with slow speeds, unreliable connections, or no service at all. That's where Starlink comes in, offering internet that's not just faster, but also accessible in remote areas where traditional providers just don't go. This is a big deal for a lot of reasons. First, it connects people to educational resources, healthcare, job opportunities, and entertainment that they wouldn't have had otherwise. For example, during the pandemic, many people had to switch to online learning or working from home. Those without decent internet were at a major disadvantage. With Starlink, that gap is being closed. Let's talk a little bit about how Starlink actually works. It's pretty simple, at least on the surface. Starlink uses a network of thousands of small satellites that orbit close to the Earth. These satellites communicate with ground stations, and a Starlink user on the ground connects to the system using a small dish antenna. The data is transmitted to and from these satellites, bouncing back and forth between the Earth and space. This setup allows Starlink to offer high-speed internet to areas where it was previously impossible, like rural towns, remote islands, or even ships and airplanes in the middle of the ocean. Imagine being in a place where even cell phone coverage is sketchy, but still being able to stream a movie on Netflix or hop on a Zoom call. That's the power of Starlink. Of course, no technology is without its challenges, and Starlink is no exception. The system is still relatively new, and there have been reports of service interruptions and slower speeds than advertised, particularly in areas where a lot of people are trying to connect to the network at once. Additionally, there's concern about the environmental impact. Starlink's thousands of satellites could potentially contribute to space debris, and some astronomers worry about the effect of the satellites on their observations of the night sky. SpaceX has taken some steps to mitigate these issues, such as adding sunshades to reduce satellite brightness, but it's still a topic of debate. So, what does the future hold for Starlink? Well, Elon Musk's vision doesn't stop at just providing internet to remote areas. He's mentioned that Starlink could be a key part of future space exploration missions, providing communication links between Earth and spacecraft heading to the Moon or Mars. Starlink is still in its early stages, but it's already changing the way we think about global internet access. Whether you're in a rural town, on a boat in the middle of the ocean, or even planning a trip to Mars, Starlink is paving the way for a future where high-speed internet is available anywhere on the planet. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our next deep dive into the world of tech. Let me know in the comments, would you try out Starlink, or do you think there's a better solution for global internet access?